in chapter 8, he just says, there are commands from the ruler that are not accepted.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whoa, that's a weird statement.
Yeah.
But he continues and clarifies it in chapter 10. He says, even though the ruler has instructed that combat should be avoided, if you must engage in combat, it is permissible. If the Tao of warfare indicates you will not be victorious, even though the ruler instructs you to engage in battle, not fighting is permissible. And I don't think I have it noted down, but somewhere else he says, like, the ruler has to not get in the way of the general. And so we have these ideas of like these hierarchies of like, I am the ruler and I do all the wise things and I make the decisions because I know all the things. But really, what he's saying is the ruler picks out a wise general. And then he gives the general an order, but he lets the general play that out as best he can. And so, like, if you're in the moment and the ruler says, look, do not get in a fight, we don't want to engage these people right now, but you're cornered or whatever comes up, like you have like to you the clear thing as a general is we have to fight. The ruler's not here. You have permission to make a different decision. Like he's empowered you with the ability to respond to the moment and trust you with that. And same thing, if he says, go fight right now, we need to beat them, now's the time. But you look at the setup of the battlefield and you say, we're not going to win this, then you don't do it. And so there's this flexibility and again that ties into repentance and forgiveness. Like you have to be able to stand up and say, no, I know that's my order, I'm not going to follow it. Now that creates problems if like everybody believes that way and everybody makes their own decision, but you still have to have that flexibility built into the system. And I think it ties back to the beginning where it's like someone who is so obsessed with being perfect can be shamed, or the legend at the beginning. Uh, he's able to endure disgrace, therefore he's capable of accomplishing great affairs. As a general, if you disobey your leader, you are risking being disgraced. Like that's a possibility. But if you're so afraid of disgrace that you're going to lead your men into battle and be utterly defeated just because you didn't want to disobey the leader, then that's more of a problem. So it's better. I think what this is saying is it's better to be the general who says, we're not going to win this battle. It's going to be a waste of our men. We should not fight and fight again another day. You come back, the ruler's mad at you. He doesn't accept your reasons. You go into disgrace. It's still better to be that guy and have saved the men, assuming that you were right, even if no one recognizes it, than to be the general who leads them in and everyone dies and your country loses their men and your emperor doesn't get the defeat he was looking for anyway. So, like the war ideal, the masculine ideal, the effective ideal is not this rigid patriarchal thing of just do what I say and I'm the best leader and uh, nobody else gets to disagree with me. And if you disagree with me, I'm gonna exile you. Like that, that's not how that's not how to effectively operate. Like if you if you want to be successful, you will find other smart people, other wise people, hopefully wiser than yourself, to advise you, and you'll listen to their advice. And yeah, it's a communal effort, and it's about engaging with other people in a positive and reciprocal way. And that involves mercy, that involves understanding, and that involves some flexibility.
And I see kind of the evolution of leadership, at least in respect to warfare as well, right? Like back in the day, the leaders on the front line, the leaders at the front of the charge, rallying the men, and the men are behind him.
Yeah.
He's the tip of the spear. And now, especially if you look at like the United States hegemony, if you look at like different wars the United States has faced, they've all been blunders to an extent because the wars are run from Washington and the guys at the front don't have any say, and so there's a complete and utter disconnect. And so you need that wiggle room. Like if you're the guy, if you're the general and you're on the front line and your superior is on a hammock in Costa Rica somewhere, like ultimately that's your decision. You have to make the call. And it should be to your best ability in that moment. And like you're saying, if there's any level of reprimand, then that comes after the fact, and it should be taken case by case. I think of like, you know, a great leader or a great manager might not be the best at a specific topic or at a specific field, but he has his people in place that know exactly what they're doing. He's got his guy that knows how to ensure that the army is stocked with provisions. But then he also has the right guy to make sure that he's on the front line making the right decisions. And he has full confidence in this guy to make the decisions correctly.